Hi, my name is Elizabeth Creamer. And I would like to share an awful experience with you. I was about 17 years old. I was a teenager. I lived with my parents. And it was a nice summer morning. I got up, I stretched, I felt ready. I was pumped. I was ready for the day. I got up and I told my mom and dad, hey, I'm going to go to the park. It's just a short drive from my parents' house. No big deal. They didn't mind. Got ready. Walked out. I looked both ways before crossing the street. I wanted to get my stretches in, and I wanted to run around the football field. So I ran 1 lap, ran, 2 laps, ran again, 3 laps, 4 laps. Oh, I started breathing heavy. I was feeling it then. So I was done. I was ready to go back home, and I had to walk up a hill. So I walked up the hill, looked both ways before crossing the street, and I was ready to walk across. And I saw my dad sitting outside, just outside of the house, just enjoying people watching, seeing the cars drive by. And my dad said, hey, do you mind moving the car to in front of the house? So he gave me the keys, and the car was about 1 block away. So I got in my dad's car, turned the ignition, put it in a gear, was ready, and really, you should make a U-turn to go around, but, I was a teenager, I was just learning how to drive, I wanted to do it my way. No big deal, no one was looking. So I had to wait, it was a red light turned green, I was ready, and I drove, and it was a red light again, I had to wait, green light, and I went to make a right turn, and poof, I rear-ended a parked car. Oh no, what do? I started, my heart was pounding, I didn't know what to do, so I was like, well, I'll just back up, and poof, I hit the car behind me. Crap, the lady behind me, hey, what are you doing, you just hit my car. The woman behind me, she just backed up and left, and whew, that was a close one. So I backed up and I went around the car in front of me, and I went to check and see if there was any damage to my dad's car. No, I didn't see anything. It was just looked like normal wear and tear. Oh, that was a close one. Okay, so I just got back in the car, and I was just going to drive home, and then behind me I saw police lights. Oh my God, this is turning into an awful experience, just moving my dad's car down in front of the house. I was like, oh, well, maybe he saw me just hit the car. I don't know. So the cop got out, and he was just walking up to me and talking to me, and I was just looked at him like, dude, I'm deaf. I can't hear you. And he's like, oh, yeah, paper? And he was just signing to me square, and I'm like, no, I don't have anything. Home? Around the corner. Yes. And he said, yeah, I'll follow you. Okay, got it. Oh, my gosh, what am I going to do? This is my dad's car. What's he going to say? Oh, I'm going to be in so much trouble. But thankfully, the police turned the lights off. And it was nice because I didn't want to be embarrassed. So, people were looking. And our house was only 2 blocks away, so... And then I started getting really upset because the lights turned back on, and my dad comes down and says, why are you pulling over my daughter? And oh, that feeling came back again, that uneasiness. So that cop got out, and it turns out that my dad and the cop were friends. Yes, hopefully they just forget about it and just kind of, let it go. And the cop said, yeah, would you know why she's driving this car? And my dad said, oh, this is my daughter. And the cop was like, well, she doesn't have any license or registration with her. And my dad said, well, she was just moving the car, I just gave her the keys, told her just to move inside of the house, or in front of the house. So if you just want to follow me and I can go get my license's registration inside the house. And the cop said, that's all right, but next time you got to make sure your daughter has license and registrations. And Dad said, okay, yes, I understand this is my responsibility. Whew. And my dad said, what's the damage? And the cop said, what damage? And then he left. He's like, there is no damage. My dad said it was fine, no big deal. So really, it was my dad's fault. And he said, next time, it's my fault. You should have had license and registration. I mean, I wasn't going to say anything to my dad that I just hit 2 cars. But that was an experience that I would never forget. An awful fender bender.